Go.
Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed. Fourth quarter heat over 2-minute drill. If you can't handle the truth, better chill with the skill. LeBron and MJ, we break that smoke.
Well, the closest thing to perfection, what does that make you?
Stats don't lie, we just let them spill. This is real talk sports, welcome to Fluent and Chill. Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed.
You know, there's breaking news, but not really. There's breaking news, but not really. Because I don't think this is a shock. Why are people stupid?
We do not care.
Yeah, people aren't very smart, Tony Tone. No, they're not.
Let me ask you a question. Because I don't know why I spend any time. I really don't know why I spend any of my time on X. I just feel it's the dumbest, stupidest, laziest, living in their mama's basement, eating ramen noodle morons I've ever come across. And for Wootage, breaking news, do I want to make a bet on that? We're going to talk about that later. Because someone posted a video where someone said something as if it was factual. The owner of the Mavericks, this woman who owns the Sands.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. And the whole plan was they wanted a casino when Dallas said no, so they wanted to move it to Vegas, and the NBA said no, so they traded Luka to LA so that the team would suck.
Which makes no sense.
The only problem with that theory, I love conspiracies. I would love for that to be true. In fact, I'm the one who told you, I forget her name and I do apologize, but the owner of the Sands, like that is what she wants. Like she's not hiding that she wants to build a new arena in Dallas with a casino. And if Dallas says no, then she has casinos, the Sands in Las Vegas, so she would be open to moving them to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a thing. But when you say they traded Luka because he was the biggest draw in Dallas, and now they're going to be so bad that she'll be able to move the team because the team will be bad. There's only one flaw in that.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
I didn't even push that button the first time. That is weird. You're right.
There's a conspiracy theory.
Something. So my issue with that is, I say, and this isn't my issue yet. My issue is coming, and I only have 3 minutes because I got to bounce. I'm going to leave you with Chill for alone for about 10, 15 minutes. So don't kill him. But let me just say, in my 3 minutes, I'll be back. I'll be back. Is that Miriam Anderson? Thank you, Spanish Jose. I said the only problem with that theory is that if they were going to tank to lose to be that bad that they can move the team, they couldn't have gotten AD back, who is now healthy. They wouldn't have re-signed Kyrie. They wouldn't have worked with the NBA to get the first overall pick. Get the first overall pick.
That's more of a conspiracy theory than the whole moving
because
the casino.
Because now what I said was, when healthy, this team has a shot. That doesn't mean they're gonna win the NBA championship, make the NBA final. Like any moron understands. By have a shot, the top 6-7 teams, right? 6-7 teams have a shot. But do you agree that as the Mavericks, healthy, as the key word, healthy, have a shot at being a good competitive team?
I got the Warriors, not the Warriors, I'm sorry. The Nuggets, Oklahoma City, and Dallas are my 3 teams that I got coming out of the Western Conference to go to the NBA championship.
So why does me saying when healthy this team has a shot bring out the morons who start go, you Mavericks fans are so stupid. You Mavericks fans are idiots. This team has no shot. Do you know that only one team in NBA history won an NBA final that started 1-3? At the time that I posted it, they were 1-2, mind you. Okay, so the Rockets are 1-2. Does that mean they don't have a shot? Like, I go, are you guys dumb? And I got, and here's where I'm stupid, because I get into a back and forth with these knuckleheads trying to explain, like, dude, do you not understand what a shot means? A shot, you're retarded. Your mama must be dead. And they start throwing out crazy stuff like that. I'm like, dude, they have a shot. When healthy, this is a good team.
Just so you know, the Bulls in 1991 won the NBA championship. They lost their first 3 games to start the season. That's with Jordan and Scottie Pippen, by the way.
Listen, he did a search on AI, and ChatGPT told him something, and that's his Bible because he's too stupid to understand. So I guess my question is, why do I engage with these morons?
Because you have no choice, Tone. You have to do it now. You
just ignore them, and they can say, "I gotcha, I cooked you."
No, you can't. You can't. That the competitive juices in you won't allow you to let idiocy just slide. You can't do it. You try to do it. You try to let idiocy slide. You try to let lunacy slide. But the competitive juices in you just will not let you let that kind of stuff slide. You Mavs fans are idiots. Okay, first of all, I'm not a Mavs fan. That's number one. Number two,
I don't even tell them I'm not a Mavs fan because I know that, like,
that's first of all.
I just
know.
I didn't say that. If you call me something other than a Lakers fan, I know that you haven't done any. I know that you don't know. You don't have research. And then they're like, and here's the one I love. You only have 1,000 followers on X. You're what? Who you posting for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you have, and here's the fun. The dude had 0.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
course.
why do we post on X so much as I have a system that reposts stuff from other sources because I'm lazy.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm efficient. And I don't actually post anything on it. But anyways, so that's where I've been spending my time this afternoon. That being said, I am going to leave you to explain to these people. See, I'm gonna listen in though, because I want to hear, because we're gonna debate this after about the old guard and the new guard, because I don't know if we agree on this or not. So I'm gonna leave you in Chill's very, very capable hands. I will be back in 15 minutes. Can I get you anything? Espresso?
I'm good, Tony. I got you covered, man. Matter of fact, could I get you anything? How about that? Because you the one got to run out the door. Can I get you something?
You know, one of those lattes that I have with the
which I'm still waiting for. I'm waiting for mine, by the way. I still haven't gotten mine yet. But
on that note, I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, y'all know what time it is. It is the Fluent and Chill show. Dude that just left, that's my man, Tony Tone. He'll be back in a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to hold it down. So I want to start the conversation by saying in 1991, in the beginning of the 91-92 season, we found out that Magic Johnson was HIV positive and he had to quit. Not that he was too old or anything. No, we didn't know anything about the AIDS virus, so he had to quit. That same season in 1991-92, Bird retired. In the process of Bird retiring, the next year, Jordan retired. The year after that, we lost Isaiah Thomas. So 4 years in a row, we lose Magic, we lose Bird, we lose Jordan, then we lose Isaiah Thomas. Basically ambassadors of the league. How is the league going to recover? How is the league going to move forward with losing these guys in such dramatic fashion, on top of that, right behind each other? How are we going to recover from that? Well, what about these new guys that we have coming in? We still live at that point in a big man league, right? We still live in a big man league. Jabbar had just left in 89. But then in that process, we get Shaq in 1992. We got a fun-loving guy in Charles Barkley, who we're going to put the camera on a little bit more. We got this behemoth / finesse big in Houston, who's incredible on the block and arguably the best defensive player that the NBA has ever seen. We're going to put the camera on him a little bit more. And it just so happens that he's got an awesome team, right? He also is in the same state in San Antonio, right up the road, where they got this chiseled out Greek god looking guy who runs like a deer. That's about 7 foot tall. We're gonna put the camera on him. In the process of putting the camera on him, there's a team in New York. They got a beast. His name's Ewing, and he's got a really good team. We're gonna put the camera on him too. So the league was in good hands because David Stern had decided that We're going to create some rivalries. In the process of creating some rivalries, we're going to put the camera on these big guys, and we're going to make this more enticing for people. And it worked. It absolutely worked. So Olajuwon becomes what Olajuwon becomes. In the process of Olajuwon becoming what he became, we had rivalries created between Olajuwon and Ewing, Olajuwon and David Robinson. Well, turns out that wasn't such a bad idea to do that. Here we are today. We still have these old guys around. James is still here. Curry is still here. Damian Lillard is still here. DeMar DeRozan is still here. Russell Westbrook is still here. Chris Paul is still here. We got all of these older guys. They're still here. 17, 18, 20 years in, they're still here. Meanwhile, we got these young guys that just showed up. Cooper Flagg, Victor Wembanyama, VJ Edgecomb, this kid Trey Johnson in Washington. We got these guys who just showed up, who are prepared to take the league into its next phase. But the problem is that these older guys are still really good. That's where the problem lies. See, if these older guys were like Bird was in 92, it was obvious that Bird was over. It was obvious that Bird was just finished. Like Magic and Jordan were the exception, because Jordan quit because he just didn't want to play anymore. Magic got forced out of the game because he was still in his prime. Bird, on the other hand, could barely walk. With Bird barely being able to walk, it was time. Isaiah Thomas in 1984, he tore his Achilles. Isaiah was out. I'm done. These guys, these older guys that we have today, like Steph Curry. I don't know if you know this, but Steph Curry averaging 33 a game. LeBron James is got sciatica, which I call it the psychotic nerve, because the pain is psychotic. If you ever had sciatica, you have no idea how incredibly painful it is. It's ridiculously painful. With that being said, right? With that being said, he made the All-Pro team last year, right? With him making the All-Pro team, Damian Lillard is out. Damian Lillard is on the sideline right now, but I expect him to come back and still be good. I think he's got enough. I think he's got 2 more years left. Russell Westbrook just signed with Sacramento. He went 18-6 yesterday, and he'll be 37. 37 in November. He's still awesome. Kevin Durant is still awesome. So it's not that they're not making it easy for these young guys to take over, unfortunately. It would be way less difficult, and the transition would be way less difficult if these guys were just washed, if these guys were just over, and we could start to move into that next phase like they did when Grant Hill showed up, like they did when Shaq showed up, right? Like they did when Hardaway showed up and Gary Payton started to emerge as one of the better players in the game, when Chris Webber showed up, when Tim Duncan showed up, right? It was way less difficult to move into that phase because these older guys were exactly that. They were old. These guys today, as old as they are, they still are ridiculously good, which makes it difficult to transfer that. Not transfer isn't the word that I'm looking for, which makes it difficult to move forward with these guys while these guys are still here and they still have their fans. So there's still the LeBron James fans. There's still the Curry fans. See, when Doc showed up and then Doc moved on, the Dr. J fans became Jordan fans because they played above the rim. Both of them played above the rim. They were exciting. They were ambassadors of the game. So it was easy to make it was easy, one, to make that correlation. And it was easy to it was easy to move forward with those with Jordan and Dominique Wilkins and high flyers like that. Guys like Curry, who are still awesome, it's difficult to move forward with Trae Young, with Jalen Brunson, with De'Aaron Fox. It's difficult to move forward with those guys when he's still better than those dudes. It's difficult to move forward with Jason Tatum, even though I think he's better. It's difficult to move forward with Jason Tatum when LeBron James is still playing at that level. And with him still playing at that level and him being the face of the league for as long as he's been the face of the league, it's kind of difficult for those fans who are LeBron James fans to move forward with Jason Tatum. I'm one of the exceptions because I watched Jason Tatum when he first came into the league, and I'm like, this guy's going to be awesome. And I was comfortable saying that. Turns out he is awesome. Well, I'm looking at these guys. I'm looking at these young guys like Victor Wembanyama, and I'm one of these people who I'm of the belief that young guys, not young guys. I'm of the belief that like the face of the league is somebody that the league or the common man basically can relate to. So like when Jordan, when Jordan showed up, and then when Jordan moved on, like Jordan was a class act on the surface. But then it was Shaq. Like the common man couldn't really relate to Shaq, but Shaq was this everyday guy, despite his stature, despite how big Shaq was. Shaq was the dude that you could run into in the mall. Right? Shaq was a guy that you could run into in the mall. Shaq was a guy that you could run into at the movies. And he would conversate with you because he was an everyday dude. That's who Shaq was. So Shaq made what was uncommon with him in terms of his stature, he made that common. That's why he made people dig him. Bryant, he made people dig him. Now, when the whole thing happened in Colorado, that kind of turned people off to him, unfortunately, because he was on his way to being the face of the league. That kind of turned people off to him. Then James shows up. And James has some commonality. You know, he's from Akron, Ohio. In addition to him being from Akron, Ohio, you know, people kind of relate to his upbringing, how tough it was for him. And I dig that about him. A guy like Wemby, you know, who's almost 7.5 feet tall, even if he isn't common, he can make himself common. His game is just so wondrous, where you're so in awe, where people are so in awe of where people are so in awe of what he does that he becomes must-see TV, where you have to watch. Where you're like, damn, like what is he gonna do next? That's face of the league type of potential, because we can sell that, right? We can 100% sell that. And I really like that about him. This kid, VJ Edgecomb, in Philadelphia, I think he's the next iteration of the great two guard, Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, Dwayne Wade, you know, guys like that. I think VJ Edgecomb is the next iteration of that. That's who I think he is. I think he's the next iteration of that. Do I think he's going to be Dwayne Wade good? I don't know. That part I still have to get to the bottom of. I'm not sure about that yet, but I can say, right? I can say with watching him, he does remind me a lot of those guys. Super athletic, ridiculous in his motor, which I love that, by the way, with him. Ridiculous in his motor, plays ridiculously hard. And he's a guy that I feel like you can build your unit around. There aren't many guys in the league that I see, especially young guys. There aren't many young guys that I see that I'm thinking to myself, like, he's just playing for the bread. VJ Edgecomb, when I watch him play, he playing because he don't want to go back to where he came from. Nope, we ain't going back there. If I got to break my arm, if I got to break my leg, I will do that every time I play, because we ain't going back to where we came from. Nah, not on my watch. Nope. I will give you everything that I have. This kid, Cooper Flagg, I marvel at how young he is, right? So I look at these young guys where, you know, young guys back in the 1990s and in the 80s, even in the 2000s, they weren't really showing up that much at like 18, 19 years old, because it still wasn't that cool to be a high school guy coming out of high school and coming to the NBA. Guys still went to school back then. Now you got these kids showing up. Like Cooper Flagg supposed to be a freshman at Duke. He ended up reclassifying himself. He only 18 years old. But when I watch him, I'm thinking to myself, this guy has no business in school whatsoever. None. No bit. There are a few guys that I've seen that I'm thinking to myself, yeah, he could probably use a year, maybe 2 years in school. But I watch him and I'm thinking, yeah, he'd be wasting his time if he was in school. Ain't no reason for this kid to go to school. So hold on for a second. I got a call on line one. I want to get to my lobby really quickly. I got a call on line one. What up?
What up, OG? Man, this stuff with Draymond got to stop eventually, man. This got to stop, man. Like, with him snatching down Santi on the collarbone last night, snatched him down out the air, and then he barking, telling Jaren to shut up. All this got to stop. This got to stop. All this, they let him fly with too much shit, man.
Who's gonna stop it? Nobody's gonna stop it. Nobody. Nobody's gonna stop it. And to be honest with you, I don't see why he would stop it. And not only that, I got a bone to pick with you, because every time I talk to you, because I know you're a Memphis guy, I tell you what I'm not going to do, Taj. I'm not going to be talking to you every day about this Memphis team when they're getting blown out every other game. I'm not trying to hear it, yo. I'm not doing that with you. I'm not. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not doing that with you when y'all getting blown out every other night.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of
it.
You
right now, I could talk Memphis basketball with you, but if I'm going to watch you dudes get blown out every other night, I'm not trying to hear it. No, I'm not.
I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing it too. I'm tired of seeing it too. I don't know what's. I know I'm trying to get this a new coach. I'm trying to give him time. I don't know what's his problem with having Ja and Jaren on the floor at the same time, because it seems like they only on the floor for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then he take one of them out and he run them with some bench guys. I'm kind of confused on why is he doing that. I'm very confused on why is he doing that. It seems like I'm
able to knock down shots. Can you explain?
I don't know.
Where's Ja's jump shot going?
I don't know. That's
used to be respectable. It used to be.
I don't know.
It's not respectable anymore. Like I'm living with Ja shooting that now. I am.
I don't know what the hell been going on with his 3-point shot.
I'm good. That's all I'm gonna say to you about Memphis. All right, because I know that you're a Memphis dude and you want to talk Memphis basketball with me. Listen, something has to change here, because I ain't doing this with you every day, man. I'm not. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not doing this with you every day. I'm telling you that right now. So, Taj, good to talk to you, brother. You know where to find me at.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
Anyway, so that's where we are. That's where I feel like we are when it comes to these younger guys. I feel like we're in a space where we can move on with younger guys if these older guys would get out of the way. But the problem is that they can't, and the NBA won't. It's not that the NBA won't allow them to get out of the way. It's just that they still are really good. And we do need to move on to some new young players. Yes, we do. But it's almost like these guys are afraid to, not afraid. Afraid isn't the word that I'm looking for. But I feel like a lot of these guys aren't prepared to move forward with taking the mantle. I mean, I heard Ja Morant say that. You know, I never wanted to be the face of the league. Well, what did you want to be? What exactly was it that you made it clear coming into the league? You know, you was popping cash shit coming into the league. Popping cash shit coming into the league. Excuse my French, but yes, you were. And you were your crew was indicative to who you were. A lot of yapping, a lot of ish talking, right? A lot of that. I'm fine in the West. Only to find out that, yo, this thing is a lot harder than you think it is. A lot harder than you think it is. I can tell you that when you live in a league where there's so much turnover, we're talking about a league where the average pro career is 4 years. That's it. 4 years. The average player is only playing 4 years. That's not the below average player who's only playing like 2 or maybe 1 season. The average pro career is 4 years. That's all you're getting from an average player. When you have these above average guys and you have these guys who are, looking like they're elite. But then you have these older guys like DeMar DeRozan that's still around since 2009, going into year 17, and still balling. What does that say about these young guys? Does that mean that these young guys, does that mean that these young guys don't have the goods? Does that mean that these young guys aren't prepared to take the mantle? Because I think that the league is in good hands with guys like VJ Edgecomb. I applaud the idea of Jason Kidd having Cooper Flagg at the 1. And the reason why I dig that is because Cooper Flagg has that kind of skill set. Remember, I'm not going to play a guy at a position when he doesn't have the necessary skills in order to play that position at all. Now, is Cooper Flagg a natural 1? No, I don't think so. But he does have point guard skills. 6'9", can handle the basketball, can get downhill, can knock down an open shot. When he gets downhill, he makes good reads. And by the way, the kid's 18 years old. So I could teach him how to play point guard. Because last I checked, Russell Westbrook showed up in the NBA. Russell Westbrook had to move to the lead guard. He played the 2 in college. When he was at UCLA, he played the 2 guard spot. He didn't play the lead guard. We had to teach him how to play that. So in order to teach him how to play that, he had to have the necessary tools in order to teach him how to play that. And it was trial by error. A lot of times it didn't look good, but then when he started to figure it out, he became elite. Well, fast forward, I got a guy in Cooper Flagg who's 18 years old, and if I got a guy who's got that kind of skill set, who's that good, that athletic, and that young, who do I want teaching him to play the lead guard? If I'm thinking about the coaches around the league, who do I want teaching him how to play lead guard? Do I want Doc Rivers teaching him more than I want Jason Kidd? Because I definitely want Jason Kidd teaching him how to play lead guard. Yes, I do. If I got VJ Edgecomb, right? If I got VJ Edgecomb playing the 2, which I felt like this when they drafted him and I saw him in the summer league, I was like, "Nigga, you're starting 2 guard for the next 10 years." Like there were some people who talked to me about McCain. In addition to McCain, they talked to me about Paul George, and I said, "That's your starting 2 guard on opening night, right there." Who do I want teaching him how to play 2 guard? Well, he had Kawhi Leonard for a season, and I think he did really well with Kawhi Leonard, who isn't really a 2, but he was a natural 3. The point is that I can teach this kid how to play off of somebody. And I think the future is bright in Philadelphia with these 2 guys, with both Edgecomb and Tyrese Maxey, who, by the way, is 25 years old? He's a kid. I'll take that on my crew every day. Every day. As far as Wemby, I mean, I feel like he's just given us something that we haven't seen. Right? He's given me some. I can't speak for everybody, but he's given me something that I haven't seen at all. And when I watch him, I'm thinking to myself, I remember Ralph Sampson, because that's who he reminds me of. So I'm thinking, like, if Ralph had that kind of handle, if Ralph had that kind of jump shot, because I think Ralph is a better athlete than him. But if Ralph had that kind of handle, he had that kind of jump shot, that's who he would be. That's what I would be looking at, like, completely, if I saw that. With that being said, Wemby is the kind of athlete, and he does the kind of things that become must-see TV. And the NBA loves that. Adam Silver has got to see Wemby and go, yo, the same thing he did with Vince Carter when Vince Carter was up in Toronto, he's got to do with Wemby. Yo, we got to get this guy on TV more. We got to get the camera on him more. Otherwise, we're gonna waste time waiting for him to go to New York. We're gonna waste time waiting for him to go to Los Angeles or Miami or Chicago. No. He's down in San Antonio, where we know, because they have a history of developing big guys, We know that he's going to be just fine down there. With that being said, we got to get the camera down there, and we got to get the camera on this guy, and we got to get him on TV more. 100% we do. So that's how I feel about these older guys and these younger guys coming in. With having these older guys still being awesome, I think that's the problem for these young guys. I think that these young guys are awesome, but these older guys are still awesome. Like I said, Bird wasn't awesome in 1992. He could hardly walk. Magic had to quit. Isaiah was on the other side of what he used to be in 1994. He could still play, but he wasn't awesome anymore. He still could play, though, but he just wasn't awesome anymore. With that being said, these older guys, LeBron James is still awesome. DeMar DeRozan is still really good. Steph Curry is still awesome. Like when I'm thinking about these older guys, Jimmy Butler is still. I'm not sure. I can't say with 100% certainty, right? I can't say with 100% certainty that there's 25 players in the game better than Jimmy Butler today. I can't do that. I can't. I'd be lying if I said that there's 25 players better in the league right now than Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler, 36 years old. And I think about the Golden State Warriors, where you got three guys actually. Draymond Green made the All-League Defensive Team last year, 35 years old. Jimmy Butler is 36. Curry is 37 years old. With that being said, right? With that being said, these older guys still have the goods. Now, are the Golden State Warriors going to be able to hold up for the duration of the season? I mean, that remains to be seen. Right? We'll see what happens there. Right? We'll see what happens there. But I ended up dropping the link in the chat. Yep, I ended up dropping the link in the chat. So we'll see who comes through. Yeah, we will see who comes through. But we got some other stuff to cover, right? We got some other stuff to cover where I was thinking to myself, with the league being in good hands, like it was in 94 when all of those guys retired, I thought to myself, it became a big man league. And with it becoming a big man league, we still had like duos. Like we had Penny Hardaway and Shaq, which turned into something really special. We had Gary Payton and we had Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. We had Malone and Stockton. Tone, I'm trying to put my finger on, why is this Jamal Murray Joker thing so good? Why are these two guys just so good together?
So, okay, I'm going to get back to the old guard thing because I think I heard what you said. I was driving, so I had to. I listened in a little bit, and I feel like I might disagree, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's stick with the topic at hand. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic work so well together because of Jokic, and I think I can put anyone with him, and they'll look good. I think he makes the game. Look at Westbrook. Everybody was writing Westbrook off before he went to Denver. He's done. He's washed. He's finished. He's all these things. Yeah. Gets to Denver. Oh, he's not that bad anymore. And I think
Jamal Murray starting over Jamal Murray. Is he the sixth man of the year?
Yeah. Like you were having really bad conversations about it.
Stuff we really shouldn't be talking about, Tone. We shouldn't be
having these conversations. But that's how good he was making him look. And I think the things that Jamal Murray does complements what Jokic doesn't do. Right? Like Murray plays fast. Murray scores in bunches. Murray does some athletics, finishes at the rim. And so when you have a guy that size who commands so much attention, and now you can't kind of double and trap and do the things you would normally do to a Jamal Murray, because you could hold Jamal Murray to 10 points if you didn't have to deal with Jokic.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. And so now I'm not saying he's a 10 point per game guy. Like don't jump down my throat. What I'm saying is you could scheme Jamal Murray out of the game to a certain extent. Like, listen, no one can be completely shut down. But I think with Jokic, he commands attention. You got to worry about his passing. You got to worry about his shooting. You got to worry him in the post. You got to worry about so many things. So now you got 2-3 guys, whether they're on Jokic or not, looking at what he's doing. Now you got a guy with like the Jamal Murray scoring ability to kind of weave in and out, make cuts, go back door, and you know who's going to find him? Jokic, because he's got eyes in the back of his head, in the back of his neck, in the back of his knees. Like, the dude's got eyes everywhere. And so it's the perfect, there's just certain players that just, it's like they work so well together. And those two just have he gets it, right? Like, Murray knows what to do, and he trusts that Jokic will find him. Jokic knows, like, when I catch the ball in the high post, I don't have to look, because if I see this wing defender take one step forward, I know Murray's going backdoor, and that pass is going without even looking, because I know he knows. And then it looks like, oh my God, eyes in the back of his head, and Murray. And it's, it's funny. I was practicing it yesterday with my youth team, whereas, like, we played a team that was playing this, 2-3 zone, and the two guys and I said, you guys got to go deep in those corners. And once this guy penetrates, that if those two guys, one of those two guys steps up, whoever's defender steps up, you go back door. That pass is there all day. That's there from 12 years old. Now, when you're 7 foot tall and you can pass like Jokic, all of a sudden you got eyes in the back of your head. But it's understanding what the defense is doing, and then having a teammate that knows, when this happens, I do this. If that happens, I do that. And so they get it when they're on, and when Murray's healthy, they're fantastic. Yeah, they are.
One of the things that I was concerned with is excuse me, Tony, is with the Knicks. And the thing that I was concerned with, because I had asked the question, Tony, when's the last time we saw a team that your two best players were this bad defensively and we won the NBA championship? Your two best players are that bad on the defensive end, and we won the NBA championship.
Well, Murray and Jokic.
Okay, now, and I'm glad you brought that up, Tone. So, with Murray and Joker being, I think that Jamal Murray is a better defender. I don't think he's as bad as Jalen Brunson. And I don't think the Joker is as bad as what Cat is. However, when I think about what they had to do in order to win, like the level that Jamal Murray had to play at in order for them to win, coupled with the level that Joker had to play at in order for them to win. Can Cat play at that level? Can Jalen Brunson play at that level in order for them to win?
I don't think they have to. And why I don't think they have to is we've had players like, we'll argue about KD's actual defense, but Curry and KD aren't known for their defense. In fact, players teams would target Steph. KD, people will argue with me, but let's say he's a good defender. Okay, fine. He's a good defender. You had Klay Thompson, who was a great defender. You had Draymond Green, who was a great defender. You had Iggy coming off the bench, who was a really good defender. You had, you had other pieces that came in, and so I think the for them to win, for the Knicks to be a NBA championship team, Bridges, Anunoby, Robinson, these other guys are going to have to elevate when I say their defense, their collective defense. Okay. KD if I look at KD outside of his Warriors years, no one's giving him a defensive player of the year award. No one's putting him on an all defensive team. In that scheme with those players, he was able to play the best defense of his career. And people will argue and say he was a really good defender. And I was like, yeah, in that scheme, in that system where I knew I had Iggy to my left, Draymond in behind me, right? Like I had Klay on the other wing. So when you have those pieces around you, it elevates your ability too, because now you don't have to gamble. You're not in help as much, right? Because I've got 2-3 guys that can kind of cover those holes. So for now, listen, KD is a better, of the 4 guys we're talking about, 6 guys we're talking about, KD's probably the best defender of Jokic, Murray, Cat, Brunson. He's the best one. Mm-hmm. But even in that Cat and Jokic example, Jokic was, no one's gonna say he's a great defender. I don't think I'm
Right.
saying anything crazy. But you had guys who were stepping up in, Gordon and then Brown, the Brown and Brown connection. Like you had veteran guys,
KCP.
KCP. Like you had
Sure.
guys who kind of allowed them to do what they do. And I've
Yep.
said this to you, and you hate this. I'm going to take the worst offensive player. That way I can serve my energy for the offensive end. And I know you,
Right.
I bring this up to you all the time and you hate it, but it's smart. It's smart coaching.
The reason why I have such a
guarding
difficult time with it.
Magic. Hey, Magic. Instead of you having to run up and down the court trying to guard the point guard Mo Cheeks against Philly, no, I'm going to put or trying to bang down low with Moses. I'm going to put you on their power forward. What was it? Caldwell Jones or something, or Bobby Joe, whoever the hell right. I'm going to put you on him.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a little bit of a break. Now you still got to play defense, but you can't just leave him open. But it gives you a little bit of a break. Hey, Jordan, every once in a while, I'm not going to have you on whoever, Dominique, even though he's a small forward. I'm going to cover Doc Rivers.
That's what we got this dude here for.
Yeah, cover Doc for a little bit because I need you to score 30. So I think if I'm Jokic, I'm like, well, right now the weakest position is center. So in most nights he doesn't have to guard a dominant center. But sometimes it's, hey, take the power forward. Cover the power forward. Give yourself a little bit of a break because I need you to bring up the ball and I need you to score 27 points and I need you to, give me 10 rebounds and 9 assists. So
I think the biggest the reason why I have such it is smart, Tone, but the reason why I have such a problem with it is because where we live today, we live in such a mismatch hunting league, right? And because it's really difficult to hide guys. It's really difficult to protect guys. However, I think that both Joker and Jamal Murray tandem, I think they use their offense as their defense. They wear you down with what they do.
Sometimes people say the best defense is a strong offense. If I'm blitzing you, boom, 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 you're going to be tired. Yeah,
and I think that they wear you down with their offense. One of them, I literally just had this conversation a couple of days ago with the fellas. Like I think on Monday, we talked about Giannis and Joker, and I said one of the separators with Joker and Giannis for me is Joker's ability to screen. Chill, you reaching with the screening thing. I'm really not reaching with the screening thing. The reason why I'm not reaching is because one, Jamal Murray is their primary ball handler. They run the offense through Joker. And the reason why the offense works is because Joker is such a great screener. And with Joker being such a great screener, he frees Jamal Murray up with having that money mid-range game that he has. He makes it almost impossible to deal with him. So then when you do have a guy that's in drop coverage that actually comes up and slows that down, now I got a guy in Joker who now has a dribble handoff where I can get it to him and we can rescreen. And now I got that big guy on me. And with me having that big guy on me, now I got Joker in the mid post and I can go to him, drop the ball off to him, and now I got a mismatch. With me having that mismatch, you have a really difficult time dealing with that. That's why, Tone, you and I, we butt heads when it comes to anybody can do this, because I'm thinking about guys like Kyrie Irving. Like, could Kyrie Irving, I mean, as good as Kyrie Irving is in terms of a skilled guy, can he play off a Joker the way Jamal Murray plays off Joker? Can De'Aaron Fox play off a Joker as well as Jamal Murray plays off of him? Because I think that you got to have a certain type of game in order to be able to play off a Joker. I don't think that anybody, just because you nice with the pill or you can knock down an open shot, you can play off Joker. There's a certain type of game I feel like you have to have in order to play off.
I think that's a bad question, right? Like, can Kyrie play off of Joker like Jamal? No. But can he play as effectively in his own way? Mm-hmm. Yes. Right? Can Fox play off of Jokic like Jamal? No. But he can be as effective in a different way. So I think that's why I don't like that question, is because I don't expect.
What way is that, Tone? Let's stay right there. So what way? So Kyrie Irving, for an example, how effective is Kyrie playing off a Joker?
Well, I think a lot of the similar things to Jamal, right, where he's picking and popping, right? They'll be in the pick and roll. I think Kyrie has a great layup package. So I think if he's getting him off that pick and roll and he's rolling to the basket, Joker's going to give it to him. He's going to finish at the rim. If he pops, he can knock down that shot. So I think the athleticism maybe won't be as much as Jamal, but I think it'll be as effective. He can, but I don't think it's so much about their game, because we'll make it about, who's a better shooter, who has a better layup package, who's more athletic. But in reality is, I think either one of those, Fox, Kyrie, or throw in the name, it'll be, will they play off Joker in the way that they'll understand the defensive situation and what to do in that situation? Jokic might not get enough credit, or maybe he does, for his IQ. He knows when this happens, I do this. When that happens, I do that. And when those things happen, my players need to be in these positions.
Which they are.
And right, because they've been playing with them. So either one of those guys you named or anybody else would have to know, if this happens, I have to do this. And then I think he could be, when you're that good of a playmaker, right? And there's not a lot of them, right? But when you're a LeBron James, a Luka Doncic, a Jokic, a Magic Johnson, a Jason Kidd, like these elite playmakers, you figure out this is where I need to be because they'll find me. I need to find that open space when the defense does whatever, because they know what happens and I need to be there. And as long as you can find that, those elite guys, those, top 5, top 10, top 20 playmakers in history, they'll find you. They'll find you. Like I would love, I was very lucky. I had at my level, I had a guy like that. And I knew whenever the defense did this, I just needed to go to that open spot. And you know me, I'm just setting up and I'm ready. And I'm showing him my fingers. I'm showing him that I'm ready. And he's going to hit me with the ball and I better be ready to shoot it. So
fair enough. And I just think that this tandem, I think that they're back in effect, Tone. I do. I think that this.
Sorry, Spanish Jose got me.
What did I miss?
So as you can see, my sweater is very thick, and he's waiting for December to turn the heat.
It's not that cold there yet, is it, Tone?
No, it's not.
No,
I was feeling a chill. I went outside. I went to pick up my daughter, and I was just like, I want to, and my studio's in the lower level where it's a little bit cooler, and it is starting to get cold. It's starting to hit 0 overnight. So it is starting to get cold here, but I'm not in Florida like him, whichever side you're on. But can I go back a step for a second?
Let's do that.
So is it time for the old-time guard to retire? I just give me an answer, yes or no, so I know exactly that I heard you right.
To be honest with you, no, because I think these dudes are still awesome. No, I don't think it's time for Curry to wrap it up because he can still play at this level. No, I don't think it's time for if I'm seeing Westbrook, who no training camp, none of that stuff, just jump on the court and he's 18-6. No, absolutely not. Like I think about James, he just made.
You're talking about the elite guys. I mean, see, you're talking about James. You're talking about Curry. Like, what about Al Horford?
No, and the reason why is because there hasn't been somebody to come in and take Al Horford's job. That's the problem.
Maybe there is, but they're not getting a chance because Al Horford's sitting there.
We've all seen guys who are older have guys come in and go, you know what? I mean, I remember hearing Bird say during the Olympic trials when he played against those college kids, he was like, man, if Chris Webber is what the league about to look like, I'm out of here.
All right, so because I agree and I disagree with you. I think yeah, if you guys aren't where you were and you're just kind of whatever, chasing rings, chasing stats, chasing a paycheck, it's time to go out and bring in the young guys, because we're in I've told you this before. I love the NBA where it is today. I love the talent that is here. I don't think I've ever had a level of talent so high in the NBA that I'm just like, there's people everywhere. I love it. It's fantastic. That being said, do I need Chris Paul in the NBA right now? No. Do I need PJ Tucker in the NBA right now? No. Do I need Al Horford in the NBA right now? Sorry, Big Ox. No. Ox doesn't even know the difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit. He thought when I said 0, it was Fahrenheit, and he was like, "Brr, it's cold in here." Do I need James Johnson in the NBA right now? No. And I love this guy. Do I need Kyle Lowry in the NBA right now? No. Do I need Garrett Temple in the NBA right now? No. Like, just there's a bunch of guys where I'm saying, listen, I don't want LeBron to. I've said this to you, and you've said, LeBron, why is he still playing? I've told you, because he's still top 10. He should still be playing.
Right. But
there's guys, when if you're not even coming off the bench on your team, We don't need you. There's some young dudes that haven't gotten a paycheck. It's their turn, and they're better than you. And because of your name and your clout, and who knows, you're represented by Clutch. You're still in the league. But what are you doing? You're going to the gambling table and you're fixing games. I don't need you. I don't need you.
But here's the problem with that, Tone. The problem with that is that we do need other pros to teach these young guys. So I do need to open up a roster spot, not for the Thanasis Antetokounmpo, who is a vet, by the way. I know this sounds crazy, and I know that sounds crazy, but I do need to open up a roster spot for PJ Tucker. I do need to open up a roster spot for Taj Gibson.
I don't need PJ.
Because we need some adults around here, Tone. I got a bunch of 19 to 22-year-olds running around here that have no idea what they're doing. They have no clue how to be pros.
Gibson for?
They have no clue how to be pros, Tone. And somebody taught Taj Gibson how to be a pro. Somebody taught PJ Tucker how to be a pro. Somebody taught Al Horford how to be a pro.
40.
And here's the problem. These younger guys today, the league has gotten so much younger. So because the league has gotten so much younger, I don't want a bunch of 19 to 22-year-olds on my roster. And I don't got no older, and I have no older guys.
College for 3 years.
No, see, that's the problem, Tone. We're not doing that. And the reason why we're not doing that, and the reason why we're not doing that is because you and me have gotten into this back and forth a bunch of different times. If I can go to war at 18 years old, I can go play professional basketball. I can do that. No big deal.
Really? You can't be a doctor.
Right. I can't.
Right. You can't be a lawyer.
Okay. That's a job requirement.
Be a teacher. You can't be a teacher.
Well, depending on where you are.
You can't be an accountant.
I can be a teacher's assistant at 18 years old. Yes, I can. I can do that.
I didn't say that. Okay, you could be in the G League. You can't be in the NBA.
I can be a teacher's assistant, but I think that's
you can't be a lawyer. You can't be a teacher. You can't be an accountant. There's a million jobs you can't be because you need to get schooling. Then the NBA should for those that need it.
Yep.
Because if you're worried about their maturity, that you need a chaperone, then they're not ready.
And
if your daughter wasn't ready to go off to university by herself, you would not have let her. She was ready. It was time to let that bird fly.
It was. However, with that being said, though, Tone,
when she was
still was there.
When she was 6, would you say, go off to school, honey? Leave you. I'll see you in 3 months.
I did let her walk to school by herself, though.
No, yes. See you in 3 months.
But what? No, this is completely. What you're trying to do, Tony, is you're trying to turn this into something completely different. Here's why: because in pro basketball, that's really good too. That's really good. Because in pro basketball, it's completely different off the strength that I don't have anybody here. I got the blind leading the blind when I'm dealing with 18, 19, 20. Who's going to teach Cooper Flagg how to be a pro at 19 years old? Because again, we're not in college. We're not in college, Tone. Like I don't have class in the middle of.
Davis can't teach him. Kyrie can't teach him.
Anthony Davis, and okay, so we don't have PJ Tucker.
I don't need PJ Tucker on that team.
And I'm glad because PJ Tucker is not on that team, right?
PJ Tucker with Garrett Temple.
PJ Tucker is not on every team. Taj Gibson is not on every team.
There's one or
Al
two.
Horford is not on every team.
There is one or two. Pick the team. Let's just do random. Let's just see. You might be right. You might be right, but you might be wrong. Give me just randomly select a team.
Cleveland. Well, Cleveland's not a young team in terms of having guys that have a difficult time.
I understand if you are the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah,
I could say okay. The Portland Trailblazers are a young team. They're building up, blah blah blah, whatever. And I want to have a veteran to help bring along the young guys. A veteran. I don't need 6 of them. Okay, let's look at the roster.
Who's the vet in San Antonio? Harrison Barnes?
Hey, don't stop jumping around. All right. So in Cleveland, the average age of the Cleveland Cavaliers is 28 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and they don't have the oldest players, Larry Nance Jr. at 33. Yep. So they're good. So who else did you say? San Antonio?
Okay, San Antonio.
That's I'm just going by what you said.
Mm-hmm. San Antonio.
You look great, by the way.
Yes,
and I do want to talk to you about Wemby too, because you used him. You talked about. We'll get there in a second. San Antonio, hold on, 4-0, baby. All right, San Antonio. Average age is 25. Harrison Barnes, 33, their oldest player. See, these guys, I'm okay with these guys. I'm talking about the 37, 38, 39-year-old that isn't playing.
There's not a lot of them running around in the league, Tone. It's not.
You might be right.
No, it's not. It's not like the league is filled up with Al Horfords and Taj Gibsons.
We don't need those guys.
It's not a lot of those guys, but there are some which we could definitely use a guy like that to help our crew. Because I do need some adults around.
Okay, but what's better? If I have a team with this 38-year-old, and I don't mean to pick on Temple, but a dude who does not play at all. He does nothing. Okay. Is it better for him to sit on the bench and collect a paycheck and do nothing other than, unless he's trying to learn how to coach, I don't know, or to take a chance on a kid or a project to see, hey, I might have a diamond in the rough. I know who Temple is. He's not gonna do anything, but you know what? I'm gonna give this kid a shot.
Is it better to do that? Well, here's the question: if you got Gary Temple on your roster, if you taking Gary Temple off your roster and putting this kid on your roster, he's probably got the 14th or the 15th spot, which means he's probably not going to play at all. So are you really giving him a shot, or are you giving Gary Temple the opportunity to continue to help my young guys grow? Because I think I'd rather have Gary Temple on the crew helping my young guys grow than a dude that's the 14th guy or the 15th guy who's going to be back and forth between this and the G League. I might as well put him in the G League.
I think we disagree.
That's where I'm at with that, Tone.
All right.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I think we got somebody in the lobby, and normally we don't get to people this early. And
okay.
I don't know how you feel about this, Tone.
But okay. Go ahead.
But I got a guy here that he knows basketball, and I'd really like to talk to him. His name's Amari. What up, brother?
What up, Chill? What up, Fluent?
What's going on, brother?
That's going all right, man. It's going all right. No, I heard some of your conversation around the older players, and there's a part of
nope. This guy sounds too much like Mars. Nope, I'm out.
No, that's my man.
I'm playing.
As you were saying, Amari.
No, I heard some of your conversations around the older players, and to be fair, I kind of do agree. Like some of the older players, I kind of don't want to see them anymore. Like the other day, I realized that Jeff Green is still playing. I think he plays for the Houston Rockets, and it's like, shout out to Jeff Green. I know he had the heart condition years ago, so he's just kind of playing until his wheels fall off. But I think in terms of like, it's a hard one. It's like, like it's almost like if basketball is like a free market, it's almost like, the younger guys can't come in because a lot of these old guys won't quit their jobs, and it's kind of like, if you want to see some of these young guys develop, you could probably have somebody take a Jeff Green role. But then how many Jeff Greens does the league have in that sense? Somebody's experienced, somebody's won a championship. So I think at the elite level, I think when it comes to like Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, I think that, I don't know if you like, depending on how much you know boxing, with like Bernard Hopkins, he got to like 51 and like he was still fighting at a certain age, and it's kind of like, he's still good. But eventually it starts to become a thing where like these older guys
start Floyd Mayweather get in the league. I don't want to see Floyd Mayweather get in the ring at 50 years
old.
Yeah,
you don't want to start seeing them get embarrassed, because Bernard Hopkins got knocked out of the ring in his last fight. And I think it was like same with LeBron James. It's kind of getting to that point of like, there was a time for LeBron, he never lost in the first round. Now he's lost in the first round 3 consecutive years in a row. And it's kind of like, and now 4 times in total. And it's kind of getting sad in a certain sense, because you're getting there, you're thinking, he's old. And like, he's not going to be able to hold this. He's not going to be able to sustain it. They've lost in 5 games, twice now? 5 games in 2 years in a row, swept twice. Like it's kind of like, it's kind of sad now. Steph Curry probably not going to make it to the championship rounds anymore because these guys, their bodies don't hold up anymore. So I think the league is in a good place. You look at how everybody, even like with Wemby, where they get, Giannis and all these guys like this kind of performing the way they are at the beginning of the season. I think some of these old dudes do need to retire. I think they need to retire before it starts to get embarrassing. I saw Kevin Garnett and the Brooklyn Nets play with each other, like with Kevin Garnett, Jason Terry, Paul Pierce. I saw that team. Like, nobody can tell me that I didn't see that team with my own eyes. It wasn't a bad team, but you're starting to see when those kind of guys, where they start to lose their star power, it's like nobody really wants to see that. and in spite of these younger guys coming through. That's why I think everybody likes Wemby so much, because he's new and he's fresh. Zion Williamson is playing very well at the beginning of the season. So all of these the new guard has to come in, and some of these older guys have to kind of let the attention. They have to find something else to do.
I don't need Olajuwon in Toronto. I don't need Kemp in Orlando. I don't need Ewing in Seattle. I don't need that guy. I just don't need it.
We don't need it because they're not draws anymore. You know,
I'm okay with LeBron at 40, but Chris Paul can go, Jeff Green can go, Horford can go, Lowry can go, Temple can go, Conley.
Yeah.
I love Conley. You know, he sat there and talked to my son for an hour. If I say this, Fluent Jr. might come down and drop an elbow on me if he hears this. But Conley can go. Joe Ingles can go. Now, there's not a lot of them. To your point, there's maybe 12 that are just let someone else come in. Go be a coach. Go make your money, be a coach. And that's how you could be that person. Because how many coaches do the teams have now? They got a head coach, an assistant coach, a front coach, a second bench coach, a behind the bench coach, a second behind the bench coach. Like they got 17 coaches.
We don't need the Udonis Haslem roles anymore on teams. Like Udonis Haslem played an egregiously, like on paper it says Udonis Haslem played, I think 20 seasons, but how many did he actually play? 14 before they was putting him on the bench for the weekend. He was kind of like Miami Heat's special assistant. And it's weird because if his role, when you think about it, just quickly, but when you think about it, if Udonis Haslem's role was so important, wouldn't Miami have offered him a coaching role?
No.
Why not? He's the culture. He's Heat culture. Why not?
I mean, when I say no, I mean obviously it wasn't because they didn't.
Exactly. That's I think that's where it becomes a thing with these older guys. Is why are we keeping these guys around? Is it because some of these guys, like if you think about it, like Mike Conley and Jeff Green, that these guys are not even averaging, like 5 points. So I'm not really sure what. I don't know if maybe they're better locker room guys than people anticipate, and maybe they keep the team together. Like from what LeBron said about Jared Dudley, he was a very good locker room guy and he kept that team together. So I don't know what they are providing on the team itself, but in terms of their value on the court, I think it's just time to usher in the new era, in my opinion.
After 2015, Udonis Haslem played 37, 16, 14, 10, 4, 1, 13, 7 games. After 2015.
So how many games is that total?
He played 7 more years.
So he played 1 season in 7.
Yeah, he played 7 more years. So 53 plus 14, 67, 77, 81, 82 plus 13 is 95 plus 7, that's 102 games. So that's basically a season getting to the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's basically getting to the playoffs. So he played 1 season in 7 years. So I mean, with that being said, with that being said, I do think that we need some adults on the team. Jeff Green's going to be 40 soon. Right?
You told me this was a young man's league. When I told
you, it still is.
I told you, but hold on. When I told you about the Golden State Warriors, and I said based on the roster they have a shot of making the playoffs, because you said they're not making the playoffs, and I said they had a shot of making the playoffs because of this person, that person, and you said yeah, but this guy's this old, and you convinced me that all these guys were too old, they were geriatric, they were going on with walkers, and it's a young man league, and they had no chance of winning a championship, even making the playoffs, not even making the playoffs. You said so. If they can't make the playoffs, go home. Go be with your wife. She clearly needs attention, Steph.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Good to talk to you, brother.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Good to talk.
Nice meeting you, brother. So you had brought up Victor Wembanyama, or Wet Bananas, as my son would say, Victor Wembanyama, and you had talked about Ralph Sampson.
Yep.
Ralph Sampson is from the 80s. So we're clear. That was 40 years ago, where I think his career was almost done 40 years ago, because I think 84, 85 is starting with the injuries, right?
89 was when he started to break down.
So I just quick. Legs behind the back. Don't forget this. Post. Like when we say
that look like Wemby to me, Tone.
You say you've never seen anyone like him?
That look like Wemby. That looks like Wemby.
Yes. I say BS. I say you've seen someone like him.
That looks like Wemby.
This is now the evolution, right? Because he got to see Samson. He got to see all these other dudes. And I saw Samson go coast to coast. I saw him going between the legs and around the back full court. I saw him jumping over dudes and dunking and making ridiculous blocks because he was 7'4", long, athletic, could dunk. Was he the shooter of Wemby? No. But no one was, because that wasn't what they asked of. The fact he was bringing up the ball and doing that is just so special, because they didn't want dudes that size doing that.
That's not your job. We got people for that.
He could do it. So imagine he grew up in this era and he was thought, hey, everybody's got to shoot. Well, then he would still be able to do all that and shoot. So I have seen it, but I got a question.
Sure.
And it takes us to the second point in the graphic, anyways. Maybe not so much in the title of this. How are we already suggesting Wemby is in the GOAT conversation when he hasn't done a damn thing? Now, let's be clear. Super talented, all the blue-ba-da-ba-doo, blah-ba-dee-ba-da-ba-doo. No problem. Let me give you a football analogy. I think we all agree Tom Brady's the quarterback GOAT. We agree? I know Montana, it hurts your 49er feelings, but
I suppose. Okay. For
the
the
most,
sake of argument.
For the sake of argument, okay. Patrick Mahomes comes in. First season, he's on the bench. The next 3 seasons, he does what he does. 1 Super Bowl, 3 AFC championships, and we're calling him the GOAT. And then, okay, he wins another one. Okay. And it's like, oh, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT. Now, all of a sudden, oh, he doesn't look that good anymore. And that GOAT talk has stopped. Why? Because you have to be that good for that long to take over. Has he even made an all-star game?
Last year.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, yeah, because that's okay. Has he made an all-NBA team? First team?
Nope.
Has he played a full season?
I mean, his rook season, I think. Yeah, he played the full season.
Has he been to the playoffs?
No.
How are you calling someone? Listen, there's a whole lot of ifs, and I don't know the saying about if ishes were wishes.
If was a spliff, we'd be all up.
Sure, he has the talent to be in an elite conversation, but just as fast as this happened, Ralph Sampson came in, won Rookie of the Year. I believe it was year 2 or year 3. Year 2, he gets Olajuwon. Year 3, they're in the NBA final. Is that correct?
Year 3, yeah. They lose to the Celtics. Yep.
How'd that career work out?
It didn't. After 86.
So all I'm saying is appreciate how phenomenal he is. Watch San Antonio Spurs games. Michelle Beadle, shout out, appreciate your support. She loves the show, by the way. Me more than you, but
of course.
Him more than me. Everybody likes him more than me. Anyways, and her Spurs, they're doing wonderful things. He's phenomenal. He's fantastic. Watch the games. Appreciate what you're watching, because I don't know if you're going to get 5 minutes with him or 20 years with him. So appreciate. But to throw him into that conversation when by his own words, not by my words, by his own words, okay? I'm one behind Chet. He's motivated me to be better. Chet ain't even top 2 on his own team.
Nope. Looking like Jimmy Neutron, by the way.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yes, he is.
I've never seen skinny arms in my life, but anyways, that's his motivation. He said it with himself. He said it himself. Leaf is going nuts. He wants in so bad.
He'll get over it. We'll get you in here soon, Leaf. Hang on, man. Yeah, we'll get you in here.
He's like, please, let me talk about this.
Oh, when I said when I said that I had never seen anything like this. This was in terms of fan. I ain't talking about the player, because Tone, when I talked to you about Wemby.
Sorry, let me be clear with the chat. Sorry, because the chat is saying he means 1 ring behind. I said, I know. I know he means what, but that's what I'm saying. He hasn't even been to the playoffs. We're crowning him GOAT. And he's saying, I'm already behind Chet in rings because it does matter. So go ahead, sir.
It 100% does. And I'm talking about, I'd never seen anything like this in terms of fanfare, especially now. Like when James did it, like when James showed up, the fanfare on him was ridiculous. Here we are with Wemby, with what social media is today. Social media isn't today what it was in 2003. The media isn't today what it was in 2003 when James showed up. And it was a big deal. James was a huge deal. So if you can imagine what it was in 2003 and it wasn't that big a deal, imagine what it looked like in 1983, which was 30 years before that, right? So a guy like Ralph Sampson, who when I watched him and then I see Wemby and I go, I've seen something like this before. And he reminds me of this guy. That's what I mean when I say he reminds me of this guy. He reminds me of this guy off the strength of what his skill set is, his athleticism. He reminds me a lot of Ralph, except he got a better handle, except he got a better jump shot. Like if Ralph was doing some more of that. And on top of that, if Ralph was on TV more, plus
Can I pause you and ask you a question? Can I pause you and ask you a question there first, right there? Because you said he has better handle and a better jump shot. The average NBA player, okay? The average NBA player, because of all of the things, I'm not going to list all of them because everybody should know. Because of all of the things, the average NBA player today has a better handle and a better jump shot. On average, they all have a better handle and a better jump shot. Is Wemby's handle and jump shot gap over Sampson the same or bigger than what it is the average NBA player, just because it's more of a focus in today's NBA?
I think it's more of a focus, and because I see it more, and I wasn't able to see Ralph handle a basketball like that, throw the ball behind his back, throw the ball between his legs like Wemby's doing. So I think
I have video. I can show you more if you want. He was doing it.
I think that there is a bigger gap. I would like to see that. I would like to see that footage because I didn't get to see Ralph that much. I was able to see Ralph, but I wasn't able to see him that much because we didn't have a lot of footage of Ralph.
No one watched a while, and the only reason I even went back and looked is because I was like you, I was like, he reminds me of the build and what I hear of Ralph. Those were the things people told me Ralph did. Mm-hmm. And I was watching, but I wasn't, let's be honest, who was watching a lot of Rockets games, like a little bit here and there.
Excuse me.
I went back and watched more. And I was like, and they're hard to find. But like that's why I put that quick little clip together to show a couple of them. But like he was blocking shots like insane, like kind of like Wemby, where you thought he was beat, and all of a sudden, boom, he was blocking a shot. He would take the rebound and go coast to coast and go behind his back and between his legs. And again, look, not as good as Wemby. I'm not suggesting that. For his time, though, for a guy 7'4" to do that, it was crazy. And so that's why I say I think all of them, the ball handling and shooting is better. So I just think, I don't know that Wemby's better than what the average has increased by, if that makes.
I understand. I do understand. I do understand that point. But to counter that point, again, because I didn't see Ralph nearly as much, I'm able to see Wemby as much as I see him today. And because I'm able to see him as much as I see him today, out of sight, out of mind. Now, mind you, I mean, Red Auerbach, he wanted everything to do with Ralph Sampson. He was doing everything he could to move up in the draft so he could get Ralph.
He knew.
And I'm talking about, he was offering everything. Like, what can I do to get Ralph on the Boston Celtics? Because he loved Ralph Sampson. Everything about Ralph, he loved him. With that being said, because we live in a time of everything being instant and everything being right now, because we live here, when you have a guy, and I had said, and I got roasted for this, a flavor of the month, immediately people go overboard with it. So a guy like Wemby, he's got GOAT potential. Okay, how many guys? I'm thinking to myself when I see Wemby, I'm like, all right, how many guys that size lasted more than 10 years? And I know we live in a different space.
No, but
in terms of, and I know we live in a different space in terms of medicine and travel and all of that good stuff. But I'm thinking to myself, how many guys Wemby's size lasted more than 10 years? So I'm thinking to myself, we're already in year 3. So I probably got another, if I'm talking about height, I probably got about maybe 6 or 7 more years before, because big guys are different. Injuries catch up to big guys way quicker than they do smaller guys. That's just the way that works. And a guy who's 7.5 feet tall, like Wemby is, I mean, how many more years do I have with Wemby before he starts to break down? Like, are we maximizing like I say, it'll be 22 in January. How many more years do I have of Wemby? I can promise you guys, I'm not getting 15 years out of Wemby. I can promise you guys that's not happening. It's not. Nope. I'm not getting 20 years of Wemby. Not happening. Nope.
We've never seen a 7, like 1 or taller play right. Like like Shaq played a lot of years. Also the much bigger frame. But obviously after Miami, he was playing, but he wasn't the same player. But when we look at the guys of that build, okay, so in that case, we're talking about Olajuwon might be one where he did, but even Olajuwon played. What was it in Houston? 15 years before he was done, right? No,
he showed up in
45. So he was 10, 12 years and done. Like really, the Olajuwon we know.
In
right?
97, he made first team All Pro, and that was the last time.
That was the last time. Yeah,
97, and that was in year 13.
12 years. Okay, year 13. Okay, 12, 13 years, and he was done. But he I think is the exception when you look at the Ralph Sampsons, the Sean Bradleys, the George Mirasons, the Manute Bulls, like the tall, skinny dudes.
Yeah,
just didn't hold up. Now he might be different because I understand that he's tall and lanky, but he's strong. So there might be a difference there,
like Jabbar was, like Jabbar was. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm getting 20 years out of Wemby. I just don't. I don't think I'm getting 20 years from him. I'll be blown away if I got 15 years of Wemby.
He can develop a hook shot where he's not banging down low too much, and he might.
That'd be great. I would love to see that. That would be great.
Going tween, step back, driving to the hoop like he is now, his body won't hold up.
I don't think so. Nope. I don't.
There's so much. We have so much on our agenda, but again, I want to just finish off the stuff that you started with, just to kind of get it out of the way and say, okay, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
These are the top 4 picks of this year's NBA draft. You got Dylan Harper, you got Flagg, you got Edgecomb. Is this did you talk about this class specifically or just the young guys in general?
Just the young guys in general. I didn't talk about this class specifically. No, I didn't.
Have you ever felt this good, but the amount of talent in the NBA?
In the past, yeah. But I can't say that I felt better than I do now. I can't say that. Like when James and Curry and Russ and Irv and Chris Paul and Paul George and KD, Damian Lillard,
all of those guys are still playing.
Right, them dudes are still playing. But I'm talking about when and Kawhi Leonard and Draymond and when these guys were around,
all of those guys are still playing. Plus all of these new guys
still in the league. But when these guys were around, right, when they were at the height of it, I felt great about where the space was in the NBA. Same thing when you go back to the 2000s with James and Wade and Bryant and Shaq and Duncan and Steve Nash and Jason Kidd. I felt great about the talent. I feel like this iteration of talent with those 4 guys that you're talking about, just with this draft, not necessarily just this draft class, but where the league is headed, I think we're in a good space. And the reason why I feel like we're in a good space is because these guys are getting taught how to play basketball. Like, Tone, this guy, VJ Edgecomb, what he reminds me of Dennis Rodman in terms of his motor. What I mean when I say that is it strikes me. He strikes me as a guy that, Tone, I'm not going back to the projects. I'm not going back to that. And so you tell me what I need to do in order to avoid going, because I'm not going back to that. I will break my arm. I will break my leg. I will run up in the stands. I will get flipped on my ear, but I'm not going back to that. I'm not I'm not going back to that. And that's what VJ Edgecomb, that's kind of what that's the kind of motor that I feel like he has. Cooper Flagg, I feel like he's the evolution, to your point. I feel like he's the evolution of the big guard. Like when I think about like Amen Thompson, like Scottie Pippen, like I feel like Amen Thompson, Cooper Flagg, they're the evolution of guys like Scottie Pippen, Ron Artest, or Meta World Peace. I apologize, Meta World Peace, guys like that. I feel like they're the next iteration of that kind of player.
Didn't he change his name to Panda Express?
No, did he really? I did not
Didn't
know
he
that.
change Panda something? World Panda, Peace Panda? No, okay, just keep going.
God, please don't tell me that he did that. I did not know that. The point that I'm making is that with these guys, right? With these guys that you have, I feel like the league is in a great place. And as long as these other guys are around, I don't think that we're ever really gonna see what we should see from these guys, because the league is still focused on Curry. The league is still focused on James, right? The league is still focused on KD and these other guys.
As for the record, Meta World Peace then changed his name to Panda's Friend, and then to Meta Sandiford Artest in 2028. So there's yes, Panda's Friend. I knew it was something with a panda.
Panda's Friend.
So with all this talent, with all these dudes from the past, I think we have the past, the present, and the future more so than at any other time in the NBA. And I want these guys to take over the league, and I want to push the old dudes out. So when we ask the question about the old guard, should they retire? I want them to feel like they have to. I feel like the young guys should push them out of the league because they're like, I can't keep up with these dudes anymore. The problem with that is the NBA doesn't know how to market, probably period, but I'll put a comma there and say it doesn't know how to market teams. It doesn't know how to market rivalries, like the Chet and Wemby one, which I don't know how you have a guy who's talking about being the best player in the league versus the third best player on his team, how you make that a rivalry. But anyways, they don't know how to market teams. They don't know how to market multiple players. They only know one way, right? It was Wilt and Russell. It was Kareem. It was Bird and Magic. It was Jordan. It was kind of a Shaq Kobe situation, and then thank God LeBron's here. LeBron, and then it was LeBron, and then it was Steph, right? Like, because they didn't know what to do in those early 2000s. Let's be honest, because of off the court issues, obviously. But then it was LeBron, then it was Curry. There's right now Wemby's kind of emerging, but I still don't think they know what to do. And then you got guys who are like, I don't want to be the face of the league. I don't want. And I'm pulling up the specific quote, but why are players so afraid to be the face of the league?
Because I think we live in a space where there's so much more that comes with that. And what I mean when I say there's so much more that comes with that, because where we are right now on YouTube, on X or Twitter, right, on TikTok, on Snapchat, all of this stuff that now has put you in a space where the camera is always on you. See, the camera wasn't always on Jordan. The camera wasn't always on James. The camera wasn't always on Derek Jeter. There was a level of privacy that you had. And now you completely 24 hours a day, this is where you live with the camera in your face. What are you doing? You can find yourself like Ja did. He found himself. He thought that he was just doing something that was cute and that was funny, only to find out that, I can lose my job doing something like this.
Oh, do you mean, if I may, do you mean this? This is a clip from Sports Fluent and the NBA.
Get a guard which you can't stand on. Slip and slide, fellas.
Number 12, water gun in hand. Let's move.
He's soaking the lane.
I'll take the shot, ball away.
Oh, that Josh shooting that water gun everywhere. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
My man is a troll. That's all I gotta say. my man Tony Tone is 100% a troll. Yes, he is. All day, every day. So with that, like I said, I think that we live in a space, right? We live in a space where Everything is magnified. And your game isn't the only thing that does the talking for you today. No. See, back then, your game was it was truly, that's all that these dudes cared about. Like getting in front of the camera and being flashed in front of the camera, commercials and sneakers and all of that other stuff. That kind of stuff was extra. Today, what's extra is everything, even your game. And Ja now tells us that all he wants to do is just be a baller. Well, really, no, you don't.
Let me read you his quote. John Morant says he never wanted to be the face of the league. This is quote now. There's a lot that comes with that. I play basketball for the love of the game, not to be the face of the NBA. Obviously, I hear that a lot. I don't put no pressure on it. Maybe you should go to school. I just go out and just play my game. Me, pretty much just going out there and doing that had me in those conversations. Obviously, people have their own opinions, but I really don't care for it too much. Well, my friend, you sound like Charles Barkley. I'm not a role model. So I don't feel like that's new. I don't feel like that's new. And just like Charles Barkley saying that, well, that's fine. You're not the face of the league anyways. I would say Ja's not the face of the league anyways. So he doesn't want it, no problem.
But
You're
he
not
did,
him.
though, Tone. I'm not trying to hear that. Yes, he did. He wanted to be at the top of the league. He wanted to be the best player in the league. He wanted to be the best guard in the league. The reason why he's telling you this is because it didn't work the way he wanted it to work. That's why he's telling you that I didn't want to be the face of the league. Meanwhile, you're the same dude that was telling us I'm fine in the Western Conference. You're telling us that I'm the best guard in the league. You're telling us that I could be the league MVP. You telling us that. So what do you think comes with that sort of stuff? Because I can tell you right now, what comes with that is being the face of the league. What comes with that is being more marketable. What comes with that is being on TV more. So the idea of you just playing for the love of the game, this isn't the park. No, it isn't. Like when you got a day job, that's just not true at all.
So are you suggesting he's only saying that because he's not that? He's not that?
Yes, because I can promise you first and foremost, Tone, what Oklahoma City is what Memphis was supposed to be. So I can promise you, if they turned out to be what Oklahoma City is and Ja end up turning into SGA, he would be welcoming all of this. He 100% would be welcoming what's going on with SGA. Yes, he would. So the idea that, I never really wanted to be the face of the league. Yeah, that's because we found out that you could be a goofy. That's what happened. We found out that you don't make the best decisions. We found out that you have some questionable, you got some character issues, right? And your judgment isn't the best. So immediately, you know what? I ain't want the job anyway. Yes, you did. You just didn't want us to find out who you really were. And we did.
So is this the fault of
LeBron James,
who said it's only basketball, and KD just saying he just wants to hoop? Or have they influenced the youth?
None of them dudes.
They influenced the youth?
I never bought that. I never bought into that.
Would you blame?
I wish I could say I bought into that logic, Tone, but I never bought into that logic that all of these dudes just wanted to hoop, because you dudes wanted to be like these dudes. That's why you played. You've seen them in the commercials. You've seen them in the shoe commercials. You've seen them on TV. You've seen them playing basketball, and you knew everything that came with that.
They stole the style, and they, as youngsters, they admitted it, and then when it didn't happen, then they changed their tune.
Yeah, maybe I don't really want to do this. Maybe I don't want to be the face of the league. Yeah, because it's a lot to deal with.
You don't realize how much comes with it.
Yes, it's a lot to deal with.
There's not to steal a Tupac line, but it's like, I want the money after fame. I'm a simple man. Like, people don't realize the money's good. The fame sucks. The fame sucks. There's some advantages that come with it. In most cases, it's the money, but the fame, for the most part, sucks. And I don't think they realize, because when you're young and invincible, it sounds like a good idea. And then the second it hits home, right, when reality hits in, and you're like, oh shit, I got to do this. I can't do that. I can't go run a video and do it with my friends and do whatever hand motions I want. No, you can't. It's not fun. Now it's not fun anymore.
It's different, Tone, when you used to go in certain places, and like now I can't hang around people that I used to hang around. Now I can't go to spots that I used to go to. Now I have to conduct myself in a different way than I did previous to this whole thing happening. Right now I gotta do something completely different. Maybe this ain't really what I wanted. Maybe this isn't who I really am. Right? I do want to hang with my buddies. I do want to just play basketball. Well, a little bit more comes with being the face of the league than just playing basketball. There's an image that you have to uphold. I can promise you, if we knew then what we know about Jordan today, Jordan he'd be looked at completely different. He would have carried himself completely different than he did today.
I would agree with. Well, I was gonna say I think he would have carried himself differently, but I think we would have. I think we did know. We did know, like we all knew, but I think there was a different level of like, oh, he's out gambling and drinking and smoking cigars all night. Yeah, we all do that. Like there was that. Whereas now you're like, what? Oh my God, what do you mean he's not eating a veggie tray and in bed by 8? Oh, he's like we're different now. We're like not we, but they. All right, so we'll do a little quick rapid fire. I want to show you one more trailer from Sports Fluent and the NBA Detectives. Then I have another video I want to show you because there's a big sham going on. Shams? Big sham. A big
Case yet. Players and coaches leaking plays, betting with mobsters. It's dirty, and it stops tonight. We follow the money, trace the bets, and set the trap.
Odds are stacked, but so is our defense. I'll go in with...
yeah. Let's talk about the gambling scandal. Let's talk about the gambling scandal. Don't make that face, Leaf. Let's talk about the gambling scandal. Chauncey Billups. Is it okay, here's the question. Is it an NBA scandal? Or is it a gambling? I didn't even think mobsters still exist. Mobster scandal.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's two things could be true. It's a mobster thing that spilled over into the NBA. Tone, what I equate it to is it would be like if America legalized drugs. Like you could walk into Walgreens and get a half an ounce of crack, right? If you could walk into any drugstore and get fentanyl or something like that. When you flood the street with drugs, you can't all of a sudden be upset because now everybody's on drugs. Well, what did you expect to happen? I mean,
you're saying because the NBA legalized the gambling and put it out there and promotes it and tells everybody to do it. What do you expect your players to do? Is that what you're saying?
These guys were going to get involved in this on some level at some point. No doubt about it. There's no way that this was just going to continue. There's no way that this was just going to be on one side. No, these guys were 100% going to get involved in it at some point. So, Tone, you prime example. Tone, you don't get involved with gambling at all. Okay, sure. You don't bother with it. But I can tell you this. Tone, you play for Chicago, and you know how good of a pass. I know how good of a passer Josh Giddey is. And y'all playing against Washington tonight. And Washington's got one of the worst 3-point defensive shooting teams. Tone might tell me, hey, Tone, the line on you is 6 threes tonight. Hey, chill. Hey, bet the over. Bet the over tonight because I'm gonna kill these dudes.
No. But no. If that was happening, that's one thing. What was happening was this. Yo, Tone, like you're averaging 6 threes a game this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know what? My homie from grade school needs a little extra green. So my ankle's gonna be hurting me around halftime. And I might only be hitting like 3 or 4 of them. Bet the under. And last play of the second quarter, you see me limping, and it's like, oh, Tone's gone to the bench for the rest of the game. Apparently, he has a lower leg contusion, and he's out. And he's only, he's gone 3 of 6 from the 3-point line, and he's got 9 points. Oh, anyone who bet the under, congratulations. That's fixing the game. That's a problem. That's a problem. And that's what was happening. It wasn't Jordan saying, yo, you're hurt tonight? Who's guarding me? This dude, 50. It wasn't like that because he used to do that, right? What was it? The Lakers, he went in. Byron Scott's like, I don't know. Michael Cooper's hurt and who's going to be guarding me? I don't know. Whatever. Kurt Rambis, 50. Like, that's different. But if he would have said, "Oh, Scotty's having money problems, and his brother Barry Pippen is going to bet the under, and I'm going to go for 20. Why? I'm going to pull myself off in the third quarter. No, you can't do that.
And that was going on.
That's what they were doing,
and that's what was going on. That 100% what was going. That 100% what was going on. And I think that because sports gambling became legalized, I think it made it more tempting to do it, and number two, and it made it more tempting to do it because it was easier.
You know what else it is? I'm getting paid. Go back 20, 30 years, and I'm helping everybody, right?
Yep.
I'm helping everybody. And it's getting expensive. Well, you know what? I'm not going to help you no more, but I am. And here's how I'm going to help you. I'm not going to give you your money. I'm not going to put you on my payroll. You're not going to be part of my entourage because that's frowned upon. But you know what? I'm going to give you some information. You go make some bets and you can make your own money.
Here go $1,000, and here's $1,000. Take this $1,000, give it to such and such. You give it to such and such, and bet
the under tonight.
Take that and bet the under.
Bet the under tonight.
I think that
Porter's brother, not Michael Porter Jr., the other one, he was doing it. Rozier was doing it. Obviously, Damon Jones was doing it. That got caught. Because here's the other thing. Always remember, when a middle or a small fish get caught for something,
it's way bigger than this.
Big fish are doing it. They're just not getting
way
caught.
Bigger.
Okay. When you catch a sprinter that finished 7th doing steroids, trust me, the guy who finished first was doing it too. He just didn't.
Oh, absolutely. Now, here's the thing, Tone. With as far as Chauncey Billups, so Chauncey Billups wasn't actually
that's a different one.
I think that for the people at home, Chauncey Billups wasn't betting on NBA games. Chauncey Billups, which, by the way, and you might disagree with me on this, Tone. Is it ridiculous for me to think that he didn't know what was going on? And I'm gonna set up the scene for you, Tone.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Here's what, and hear me out here. Hear me out. So Chauncey Billups was basically showing his face, whether it's at the door, whether it was sitting in car games, fixed car games. Is it ridiculous for me to think that at that time, because I think he was playing in the NBA during this time when this was going on. So is it ridiculous for me to think that they went to him, like one of his confidants went to him, one of his people went to him, one of his advisors went to him. Hey, listen, there's this card game up in the Hamptons. With this card game being up at the Hamptons, they need a famous face just to show your face at the spot. And it's $100,000 cash in it for you. All you got to do is sit there and just show your face at this card game for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. That's it. And it's $100,000 cash in it for you. There's an envelope at the door. Now, is it ridiculous for me to think that this is on the up and up? I'm just going to go take this $100,000 in cash and I'm just going to get up out of here. Is it ridiculous for me to think that this is legit?
Well, all of those things are different questions. Is it legitimate that someone might have asked him that? No. Or yes, it's legitimate. Is it legitimate for him to think this is all on the up and up? No, you'd have to be a moron. However, is it legitimate that allegedly, he had these special glasses where he could see what the other players were holding so that he could win? No, that's not legitimate. You're clearly cheating. Clearly cheating. So if it was innocent, like you said, where it was like that, what you said, hey, this poker game sponsored by and special guest Chauncey Billups and cool, legit. If what they said were he's a degenerate gambler and couldn't stop and was cheating and had these elaborate tables and glasses and they would show you what was underneath the other players through the table on your cell phone, so you could check his cell phone and see what the other dude was holding.
Yep.
Then he needs to go to jail. He needs to be suspended from the NBA. He needs to be removed from the Hall of Fame. He needs to be stripped of everything award that he's been given in the NBA, just like they did.
Wait a minute. What does that have to? Whoa! Wait a minute, Tom. Wait a minute. What does this have to do with my playing career? I was at a poker table. I was at a poker table. That has nothing to do with what I was doing when I was in the NBA. Nothing to do with it.
You said it was when he was playing.
Code of conduct
is in your contract.
Yes, it is in my contract.
And what you do
but
outside of the NBA matters. And if you're going to suspend Pete Rose for life, then that should be the precedent for everybody.
Wow, code of conduct. That's real tricky. If it's something that damn, you got me, Tone. You got me.
Because it's in there.
You got the code of conduct. You got me.
I disagree. I don't think it should be.
No, you can't disagree. No. Stay right there, Tone. When I sign that contract, there's a way that I have to conduct myself. You got me, Tone. There's things and there's people that I can't hang around. It's called, again, a code of conduct. There's a way that I have to conduct myself when I am not on the floor. I can't be.
You're a representative of the NBA, and you're held to this.
100%. I play in the NBA, but I work for the Los Angeles Clippers. You got me, Tone. Because if I'm conducting myself, I can't be out selling drugs when I play for the Dallas Mavericks. I can't do that. No, that's a violation of my code of conduct. So you know what? If that's what was going on, because yes, allegedly that was going on. Like I said, if he was just the face of a party and he didn't know, completely different discussion. The information that I got, Tone, was this was during his playing career, and I'm thinking to myself, as innocent, I'm 30-something years old, and me being this age, I'm thinking to myself, one of my confidants come to me and they go, "Yo, Jay, listen, I got this poker game up in the Hamptons. I'm gonna come get you. It's only for an hour, maybe 2 hours. All you got to do is sit in, maybe greet some people, say hello, shake hands, kiss a couple babies. Here go $100,000 in cash for you." Sure, yeah, I'm doing. You know what? Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. What, for $100,000 cash, and doesn't nobody know? Yes, I'm doing that. Absolutely. Right, let's do a little rapid fire. Let's do a little rapid fire now. Let's do a little rapid fire. One quick question on that same topic, but quick. We're gonna go fast now through about 3-4 things. He was wearing a clutch shirt. Was that like bat signal? Yo, come get me. I don't think it was nothing to that, to be honest with you. I don't. I wanted so bad to be something. Because of course. What a great story. Like, you wear the clutch shirt to be like, come get me. Of course. 100%. Yes. Right. Speaking of clutch, that scams, said Michael Jordan was lying about the free throw, blah blah doo blah blah doo. How? Okay, no, he wasn't, because there he is right there. So look at me back, buddy. Center circle. Back. You remember the center circle? They didn't have it. Wilt Chamberlain used to take a drive, take off, and live. You and I had this debate last year, and I just won it. Wilt Chamberlain used to run and then take off from the free throw line and do a free throw, and then they said, no, you have to stay behind the free throw, and they brought in the circle and said you couldn't start from behind the circle, proving that it wasn't a standing jump. Finally, okay. So now you can't start the shot outside the center circle, and you can't break this line until it hits the rim. That's what Wilt Chamberlain. Lord have mercy. Please, thank you. Been a long time since you did that, huh, Money? Pressure, man. I need to. My children are sleeping. I'm sorry. Shh. My bad. You gotta be quiet. Yeah, I've been a little bit quieter. My bad. That was my bad. Why? There's people making a living on both sides. Of all sides, but typically of both sides of this GOAT debate, just hating on the other dude. Just love the dude you love. Just love the dude you love. I don't gotta talk bad about lie. You don't need to like put down, like, it's like these dudes that like, I need a girl, so I'm gonna go tell her that a man's cheating. Like, first of all, why would you say he said that he hadn't touched the basketball in years, and this was in 2022? That was years ago. Shams, what are you talking about? That was years ago. That was years ago, Shams. Even if it was 2 years ago, it was still years ago. And hold on. And just by touch of basketball, I'm sorry. When I was injured, when I got like when I tore my everything, my Achilles, and popped my ankle and my plantar fasciitis all, went to you basically destroyed your foot. That's basically, yeah, from my big toe up to my calf, we're all just he destroyed his foot, ladies. We're shredded wheat. I said I didn't touch a basketball for like
7 years. Now, if someone had a ball, I grabbed it and I dribbled a little, or I took one shot, like, yeah, I probably did. But when I say touched a basketball, I mean put on some shorts and went out and touched a basketball. There's a difference, right? Like an occasional shot here or there when I'm at the fair. That's not what we're talking about. So for him to say I haven't touched a basketball in years, in his mind, he hasn't thrown on his pair of shorts and those Carolina Blues underneath and gone and played basketball.
Correct.
But even that, since 2022, well, it's 2025. It was this year at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
So yeah, for him to say I hadn't touched basketball in years, 2-3 years, it's years. And clearly from video proof, he said, I was nervous. I was nervous. Speaking of being nervous, should he be nervous? Is this the end? Is Joel Embiid headed to the Lakers? Oh, I mean, headed to another team.
Oh my God.
Is he headed to another team?
Yeah, well, it should be. It should be the end. And I take a lot of pages out of your book, Tone, when it comes to business. And I mean, I said this earlier today. I'm going to clean this car up. I'm going to get it detailed. I'm going to get all the wheels fixed. I'm going to clean this car up as best as I possibly can, and I'm going to put it on the showroom floor. Who wants it? Who wants? I don't care what you want to pay for it, neither. By the way,
backcourt, right? We're going to start building out of our backcourt.
Yes, sir. We are. Yes, we are.
We talked a lot about Wemby today.
After 3 games, this dude is the best
player. He's the number 1 player in the NBA after 3 games. 4.
Crazy.
They're 4-0. They're 4-0.
Give me a break. After 4 games, this dude is the best player in the league. Give me a break. I know, get me wrong. I do understand. No, Tone, to answer your question, no, he's not. Because I know we got to do some rapid fire here. No, he is not. No. I do.
That one bothers you.
Yes, it does. Because I do get the idea that, you can look at a guy and go, yo, this dude is better at basketball than him. Well, other things factor in. Well, other things like what? You just better at basketball than this person. No, you got to do it for a long time too. You can't just come out here in 1 game or 2 games or a week and be awesome and like all of a sudden you just better than this dude who's been doing it for a long time. Nope, it's not the way that works for me. No.
I got some tickets. And I want to take you and I.
Yep.
To a football game, if that's cool. If I may, I'd like to show you the venue.
Hell no. I don't think so.
350 meters above the desert, a stadium.
Who the hell's idea was
That's
this?
A full-size football stadium for those that can't tell from this view, and that is 350 meters. I don't know how many. Hey Siri, how many?
It's 1,100. It's like 1,100 and it's like 1,130 feet, Tone.
Okay, do the math because
Who the hell's idea was this? Hell no.
Can you imagine a sandstorm hits?
What the hell? And can we not forget, Tone, we're above elevation, which means that the air is thinner up there. And as soccer players, yes. No, hell no. I don't know who the hell's idea that was. No way.
You're out on that, so you're not coming with me.
No.
Kevin Durant, my friend who anytime his brother reaches out to me, I say,
shut your damn mouth.
Kevin Durant doesn't think playing on a super team should negatively impact his legacy since he's been performing at an elite level for 2 decades.
Well, 2 things could be true. One,
and I know that's not Kevin Durant, by the way. That's Fred Taylor. This is from the
Fred Taylor. Well, 2 things could be true. One, he did do his job while he was on the crew. Let's be clear about that, Tone. And I respect that. But you did throw a monkey wrench in what was going on in the NBA. To jump on that Warriors crew, you threw a monkey wrench in the landscape of the NBA when you jumped on the bomb squad. You definitely did that. You altered a bunch of different careers and you threw a monkey wrench in everything that was going on in the league. But there was no mystery about who was winning the NBA championship moving forward. There was none. We knew who was winning it. And it was not a question.
I drank a beer.
I needed.
Hey, you know what?
I don't have any water, so I can't even play that. So it's interesting. That one's interesting because I always say, like, I don't blame players for doing what's best for them. Like, I really don't blame Kevin Durant for going to the Warriors. He was a free agent. He can do whatever the hell he wants. I don't blame LeBron James for going to Miami. In fact, he could have just signed with Miami, but he did Cleveland a solid by signing with Cleveland and making it a sign-in trade. They got like 5 draft picks. It ended up really benefiting them, and then eventually him, because a lot of that helped him when he went back. But to suggest that your legacy isn't affected is crazy, because if you're going to say, well, I'm great because I did this, I did this, oh, and I won this title and this finals MVP, well, he doesn't have those finals wins. He doesn't have those finals MVPs if he doesn't make that move.
Right.
So you can't use the positive to uplift you and not say, well, but it doesn't matter that I did it. Because if Kevin Durant does, let's just be honest about Kevin, like, and this is every player, but let's be honest about Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant doesn't go to Golden State, he doesn't win. Maybe.
Do you think he wins in Oklahoma City, Tone?
No. So he doesn't win. He doesn't win. So if we're looking at Kevin Durant right now with 0 rings and 0 finals MVPs, are we talking about him the same?
He's Dominique Wilkins.
So it does affect your legacy. It doesn't. You got to take the positive with the negative, because we can never say, now we can't say with 100% certainty that if he didn't go to Golden State, he never would have won. But
Right,
because we
do that.
say that, we do know that he did only win the seasons that he was there. The 2 healthy seasons that he was there, they went to the NBA Finals both times. They won both times. He was Finals MVP both times. Give him credit for doing that, but it's credit with a caveat, and so it doesn't elevate you as much as it should.
You think he got punished by the basketball gods for doing that?
Yes, I believe in that juju, man. I will never say, my child is sick if he's not sick. I will never say, oh, I need to take a day off work because my mom is sick if she's not sick. I will not. I don't mess with that, whether I believe in it or not. I just rather not. That's an envelope I'm not pushing.
Fair enough.
We got 2 guests. We got 7 minutes. Leaf has been waiting so patiently that I feel like he deserves to come up next. Unless you have anything else, you just to delay it even more, just drive him nuts. Okay.
What up?
What up, brother?
Gentlemen, what's going on? It's windy out here in West Texas now. But I'm used to it, man. The only thing I'm not used to is no builders being in the way to block the goddamn wind. But just to get my quick rundown, Wemby is gonna fall apart. That's 1. Jordan technically did lie. That's 2. 3.
What did he lie about?
When the question was asked, when is the last time you touched the basketball?
He said, I hadn't touched the basketball in years.
And then he actually got into that story about the free throw. Technically, that was a lie, because Brandon Miller at pre-draft, in his interview, he talked about how he airballed a free throw. I don't really care about it, but technically he did tie a lie.
That was still 2 years ago.
Hold on, that was years ago.
Yeah, but he didn't tell that story. The story that he told about that free throw that he shot and made for the kids, that happened before that.
So no, that happened this year. That happened this summer.
Did it?
Yeah, this summer, 2025, at the Ryder Cup this year.
2025 in the Ryder Cup this year.
Yeah. So technically, Brandon Miller's story is still years old.
Still years old and everything.
He had the ball in years, and maybe that's why he was so nervous, because maybe at that time when he airballed it, he was like, "Ooh, I shouldn't do this anymore," and that's why he was so nervous.
Alleged, but I mean,
is Brandon Miller telling the truth?
I mean, hey, listen, can you believe a story that don't have no video on it when it's a story against a story that has video on it?
I don't believe a dude scored 100 points because there's no video.
I mean, but you're gonna carry it, bro, just to make fun of these Gen Zers, though, right?
A little bit.
All right.
Don't go down that rabbit hole with him. I promise you.
I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Go down that rabbit hole with him. You won't come out.
But me and Fluent do agree. It's 19 individuals in the league that's pissing me off, and they need to go to hell home. Every last one of them got drafted before 2010, and I don't want to see him no more. Chilltown, you talked about you didn't want to see Shaq on the Celtics or on the Cavs.
I did not.
Okay, then you need to be thinking about this exact situation.
I said the same thing about James. You and I have had the conversation about James. Why are you still here? What are you still doing here?
Yeah.
What do you need to do to still be here? I've said that to you before. We've had that conversation.
You said that to me, but at Chilltown, I've been paying attention to you long enough to know when you on the fence about some shit. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. Listen, they're like everything that they've done, they've been doing before. The difference is that it's not the contribution to winning is not the same as it used to be, and the contribution to success is not. And the contribution to success is not what it used to be. Therefore, I got to look at you differently. You're out there racking up career totals. That's what you're doing. It's nothing. It's no other explanation for you being out there.
That's the narrative for what makes you the best.
Yeah, like the career totals, man. Like, so we like LeBron James and the narratives that's been built to put him on this echelon. It's been the criteria changes every single time, so we don't really know what the criteria is now with these career totals. Now the shit is turned into baseball. You know, like who got the most points? Who got the most this? Who got the most that?
I think that's deliberate. Maybe not. I won't say by him, but by his camp. He's the greatest because of these totals, and he's going to rack them up to the point where I don't think anyone's going to ever catch them.
Wasn't y'all just talking earlier about how Steph could hit another 500 threes or some shit like that?
I got Steph getting to 5,000 threes.
The 5,000 threes for his career.
Yeah, I got him getting to 5,000. He already at almost 4,100 right now, and I think that 3 more years at 3 more years at 300 threes, which I think he could do.
Yes,
I think he can get to 5,000, and I'm not going to see that again in my life.
5,000, right. And the thing is, one thing, and we read this off as, you know, these career totals, man. Like these shits ain't never been held to the highest echelon before than they were held today. And the reason why I could prove it is this, because how many people back in 1989 had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the definitive go to basketball?
We all did. We all did.
Okay. By the time 1998 was over, how many people still had Kareem as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the definitive GOAT?
That ended like in 93. Jabbar wasn't the GOAT no more. Not in 98. In 93, we was calling Jordan the GOAT. In 93.
93 is over.
4 years later, we was calling Jordan the GOAT. 4 years later.
4 years after Kareem retired.
We called Jordan the GOAT.
20-year career was over.
Yep. We was calling Jordan the GOAT. We said Jay was the GOAT.
And
so
then
Chamberlain, Russell, Jabbar, it's Jordan.
So basically what you saying, and after 98, it wasn't even a conversation no more.
Done. When he hit that shot against the Jazz, it was a wrap. Jordan's the GOAT.
Yep. It wasn't no conversation no more ever again.
Jordan's the GOAT.
99.
Forget Jabbar, forget all of these other dudes. It was Jordan, and then it was everybody.
99.
That's what we were saying.
2000.
Hold on. Let me be very clear. I did not have Jordan in 93, 94 as the GOAT yet. It was not until after 98. That being said, I want to clarify NBA GOAT. Because basketball, NBA are two different. Basketball GOAT is still Kareem. NBA GOAT.
NBA GOAT. So okay, all right. So to go to the NBA after 98. After 99, after 2000, after 01, after 02, after 03, after 04.
93.
After 2025.
93. In 98, it was just definitive. But in 93, we called him the GOAT.
No, I understand, but I'm just counting the years.
No, he's saying
98, 99, 2000, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Do we understand each other here? Like, I mean, like my thing is like Why is people is just it seemed like people is just desperate to try to make a conversation out of this. This is one of the reasons why you see graphs like Wemby, #1 player in the league after 3 games, and you thinking to yourself, yo, did I stop watching basketball for a while? What happened?
Go on that horrible website X right now and see the amount of LeBron fans saying, I'm okay with Wemby being the GOAT. I'm on board for it. They're already jumping ship because they're just the flavor of the now. They want to be ahead of the, like they see it.
They're jumping ship because LeBron is on his way out, and then they know it.
Yeah, LeBron hasn't even retired yet, and they're already jumping ship because they're not basketball fans. They were LeBron fans, and they're like, oh, he's going to be the best, so I want to be on that wave early. And now they see Wemby come in, they're like, I'm jumping off that ship, and I'm going to be on the Wemby train so that I can tell everybody, yeah, I've been saying Wemby's been the best for years. It's crap.
One more thing before I get out of here. And I joked about it with Chill. I was like, some of these shots that Paolo was taking the other night, bro, he might have to be on FBI watch. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like this is getting ridiculous. You talked about some of these dudes putting up 40. I think Larry Markkinen had 51 against the Suns. I'm gonna say that. Cooper Flagg had 2 points against OKC, who is the champions. That's reasonable. I mean, even though he's at the point guard, but some of the basketball I've seen so far from some of the teams I've been inspecting, it's looking like FBI watch. I don't know about you, Chill, but what I seen from Detroit yesterday, that was disgusting. It was despicable. I don't know what was going on out on that court, man. Like whatever you want to explain to me that happened last night, man, in that game.
Oh, they got their ass kicked by a better team. That's all that was. That wasn't nothing else, but except that they got their ass kicked by a better team. And Detroit is a middle of the road Eastern Conference team. So if we got 8 teams making the playoffs, they're 5th. That's middle of the road. That's what that is.
Middle of the road.
I had them at 4.
Middle of the road playoff team. Yeah, he's saying 4-5 is middle of the road playoff team.
Yeah,
not middle
of the road playoff team.
It's middle of the
road team. No,
7-8. Yeah.
No,
middle of the road.
They're middle of the road playoff team. I got them at the 5th seed. So
and I need to tell people that listen, this brand right here did not get built through the draft. It got built through free agents and through trades. So please stop telling us that we need #1 and #2 and #3 in the draft.
You need to do a better job at drafting because you're going to be the worst team in the league this year again.
Of course we are.
Team in the league.
Of course,
no doubt about it.
Of course we are.
And those 5 first-round picks that you had, you got to get one of them right. You have to. One of them got to hit.
I believe you, but at the same time, what stirs the ship for this team to be somewhat competitive is almost the same thing we did back when we got Jason Kidd and we had a #1 pick in Kenyon Martin and a couple of picks in Kerry Kittles and Richard Jefferson and them.
In today's NBA, longevity of success comes through draft and getting young players. Quick fixes come through free agency and trades.
Yes, they do.
And we know how quick fixes go, Tone. So
they don't last long.
Talk to you, Leaf.
They don't last long.
You at, brother.
We
know where to find you at, brother.
Description said the real score was sealed inside.
Stay sharp. Could be traps.
If there's proof, we'll find it.
Got it. An official scorecard. Warriors versus Knicks.
We found the smoking gun that Wilt didn't score 100. We found the real scorecard. I'm obsessed with Sora AI. Do you know that? Remember that? Did you see the video I sent you about Fluent Chill? I got all her names wrong.
No, I ain't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I didn't. When did you send it?
I sent it in the group chat with Trista. You gave the thumbs up.
I'll check it out.
It's I say my name's Trista. She says her name is Chilltown Hoops, and you say, and of course I'm Sports Fluent. I'm like, you got all the names wrong.
What the hell?
So funny. I love this thing. Before we get to 2 cents. Oh no, that was it. I wanted to show that Will Chamberlain thing. So let's end as we always do, as much as we can.
What up?
Hey, what's up, man? We're gonna make it. I'll make it short. I'll make it short and brief because I know y'all over that 7 minutes that y'all wanted. But hey, if y'all can, man, hey, check out a couple of those Netflix sports betting and stuff. You know, they've been out for a little while, and they got some stuff about the mob war and stuff, and it'll kind of catch you up. But now that mob stuff ain't never left.
No, it's
It
always
ain't
been
never
real.
left.
Dudes ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah. Yeah, it's some good. They got some good educational stuff. You just say that. But what I was say, keep it on the sports stuff on it. Like my man was saying, that Wemby thing, I get it, but I'm not a microwave guy. I seen guys do good the first 3 to 5 years, just based upon history. I don't like what I see with Wemby running that Ferrari in first gear like that, reverse alley-oop 360. I mean, he is. Man, you got to admit, this dude is playing like a bull in a china shop right now. I just don't think he's going to hold up. The dude is great. I have never seen a guy like that, not with my own eyes. And I'm in San Antonio. I've seen him practice. I got invited to practices and stuff. But nah, he's going to be great, but he'll break down like the rest of the greats and fizzle out. I ain't trying to put it on his name, but just based upon history.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Let's hope not, man. We seen it too many times. We done got older. I seen Derrick Rose. I seen Harold Miner, all these guys or whatever. I seen Larry Bird go out early. You know what I'm saying? These guys, it happens, but I ain't trying to put it on them. But that guy is phenomenal. You can never take that away from him. That's for sure.
Right.
I had one more thing to talk about, but like I said, the show ran a little long, so I get it. I don't want to hold you guys up. Respect. Hey, we at the door, and it's almost closing time type deal. But I'm gonna show some respect for the show on that and let y'all close out.
Appreciate you, brother.
Right, brother. Good to talk to you, my man. No doubt. Yes, sir. We have now come to that time, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the end of the line. Yes, sir. Me and my man Tony Tone, y'all know we do this every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on both the Sports Fluent and Chilltown Hoops Network right here on YouTube. We are not hard to find. Come check us out. You know where to find us also on TikTok. You can be more fluent when you talk to my man Tony Tone and right here with me, Chilltown Hoops. So we will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I'll talk to you guys soon, man. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys.
Jay's up 3-1. Let's go.
Fluent and chill, you can call it how it's played from the field to the court. Every legend gets away. Fourth quarter heat, over 2-minute drill. If you can't handle truth, better chill with the skill. LeBron or MJ.